Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. How are you? Welcome to tonight's live. I say tonight because it's 7 p.m. my time, but many of you, it's the morning or midday. So, welcome to everyone. So excited to see everyone signing up for our new LinkedIn group, which is where we share some of the best practices that we've developed over the years that you can take and use. Feel free to ask questions. All of our playbooks are going to be in that particular group for free for everyone. So make sure that you use that resource. Now, who am I? I'm Troy Malone. Let's see if I can point right. There we go. Troy Malone, and I am a co-founder of Relevant. And I've been a Silicon Valley executive for, many years, over 15 years, building these 4 unicorns. And during the course of building those 4 unicorns, I took them into new marketplaces. So my job has always been international expansion. And I mentored a lot of companies over the years, as you can see a few here. And obviously, mentoring is something that I really like to do. But as a busy executive, I didn't really have the time to really give all of my secrets and strategies out. All I could do was share some anecdotal stories. And that was it. And then I walked away and kept building those businesses. So I started Relevant so that I could take the playbooks that I used at those unicorns to enter new markets successfully and share those with entrepreneurs, really creating a support system for entrepreneurs that are trying to enter new markets, particularly the US, but many other markets around the world that I'm familiar with, whether it be Japan, all throughout Asia, Southeast Asia, Latin America, all throughout Europe, etc. If you have questions about any of those markets, please don't hesitate to ask questions, especially in the LinkedIn group. So why are we here today? Today, we're going to be talking about LinkedIn. Now, I know that everyone knows about LinkedIn. LinkedIn, if you're from India, which we have a lot of people coming in from India lately, LinkedIn is everything. You know how important it is for business. If you're coming from Asia, you might be asking yourself, why is LinkedIn so important? Yeah, I have a LinkedIn profile, but I haven't done much with it, and it hasn't given me much value. Well, hopefully after today's session, you'll take away some strategies that will let you control LinkedIn to your advantage to find, I went away there. Let me bring myself back. Here I come. Okay, cool. To find people that you want to connect with them on the platform, and then start having conversations with them. And this is going to help you find leads. It's going to help you find partnerships. It's going to also help you find investors. So LinkedIn is a very valuable tool for you to be using for your entrepreneurial journey. And today, we're going to talk about how you can optimize your LinkedIn profile. Now, I'm going to go into some detail here, but you can get the full playbook from us, which will definitely give you all the detail, as well as a trained GPT that you can use in order to make your LinkedIn profile amazing. Okay, let's see. So I want to give you a few examples why LinkedIn. And interestingly enough, I'm right over the logo. There we go. So why LinkedIn? This is a tool that we use for LinkedIn outreach. Look at the reply rates that we're getting here, 37%, 31%, and most importantly, the acceptance rate of 45% of people that we reach out to actually accept our, foray to connect. And that is extremely, extremely high. This is akin to cold emailing, but we're going to show you the techniques, how to make your LinkedIn profile so impressive that people will want to connect with you. Now, this is Brenda Lee. She's one of our customers. She's actually in the climb with a company called Realizer. And she recently used LinkedIn using the techniques that we taught her to connect with 15 design customers for the new release of their new product. And she was able to do that extremely quickly using LinkedIn. Now, this is Yong. He is with a Korean company that's selling into the ad industry and selling into publishers. And publishers are really difficult to get a hold of, difficult to connect with. And he had sent out 400 emails to try to connect with people in the industry. And guess what? He got 0 responses. So we came in, helped him figure out how to do, number one, emailing as well as LinkedIn outreach. And this is a message that he and I exchanged recently where he closed his first big deal with a US publisher. So congratulations to Young. And now here we have Mike Shin, who has a cat litter company. So if you have a cat, they need to go to the bathroom, right? Those little rocks that you put down or the little granules that you put down for them to do their business on. That's what he does. And he's used LinkedIn to be able to get into multiple places, multiple brick and mortar stores to carry his product in the United States. So these are the kind of outcomes that we want with LinkedIn. And that's what we're going to show you how to do here today. Now, you might be thinking, well, I've got business cards. Why don't I just use business cards? Those are good enough. Well, this is a good friend of mine who is right now, he went to Florida, and this was him talking about his Florida trip. And look what he said down below. He brought a lot of business cards, but he didn't use them because everyone was using LinkedIn or WhatsApp. So this is totally true. And this is definitely a cultural thing. We don't use business cards in the US particularly. We would rather connect digitally on a platform like LinkedIn. So that's how important it is when you're entering a new marketplace to understand what are the platforms that people want to connect on. Okay, so we want to go from 0 to hero. Just like I told you about Yong, if you're sending out a lot of connection requests or if you're sending out a lot of emails and getting 0 responses, we want you to get a lot more responses so that people are engaging with you. So how do we do this? It's really, really important that our LinkedIn profiles are actually interesting. People only connect with individuals that are interesting and that they feel can add value to their business and their life. So let's make sure that you are one of those people, especially on LinkedIn. Now, think of it as a dating profile. Just as swiping right or left, we want to make sure that people are swiping the correct way for us to connect with us. And just like a dating profile, your profile on LinkedIn needs to be attractive, interesting, and compelling. And we're going to show you how to do that, how to be personal, how to be impressive to people in how you present to them on LinkedIn, and then get them to connect with you as a result. So that's what we're all about today. I'm going to walk you through a few sections of LinkedIn and give you some thoughts on that. Again, this isn't the full detailed playbook. You can get access for free to the playbook. Just simply comment below and let us know that you want access, and we'll reach out to you and give you the link. So the first concept for your LinkedIn profile is be human. Now, I'm specifically relating this to your image that you have on LinkedIn. This is a great image, right? This looks like, number one, a real person, and number two, kind of a guy that you'd like to hang out with, someone that looks friendly, someone that looks interesting to you, right? This is just a great profile picture, and it communicates the fact that this is a true, interesting human. That's what we want to do. What we want to avoid, and what happens often, is people put up the hostage photo, as I say. They're kind of blinking with their eyes in Morse code. Help me, come save me. That's not what we want. This is not interesting. I think of this really as very robotic, and we don't want to talk with a robot. We want to talk with a human that we can do business with. Okay. So that's the first concept. So make sure that you visit your LinkedIn profile picture, make sure that it's interesting and human and really shows your personality. Now, the headline is extremely important. If you can imagine, you have your image up top and then you have your headline right below the image. That's why it's so important. It's think of it as your first impression that you're giving to people as they come in. So what I like to do now, most people. Oh, and I've got my funny logo thing going on here again. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. So what people tend to do here is they'll say, I'm Troy Malone. I'm president and CEO of Relevant, for instance, up here in the high level tagline or description that you have below your name. Well, guess what? When people scroll down, they're going to see who you're with and what you're doing. Don't worry so much about that. Keep it higher level. It's a high level description of what type of business person are you? What are you focused on? And what are your main attributes or skills that you bring to the table? Oh, cool. I got some balloons there that you might want to highlight. So, what I say in mine is highest of levels. What I'm doing with my career now is empowering startup founders to scale globally. That's what I do. That's my area of expertise. I've done it for 4 Silicon Valley unicorns, and now I'm helping startups do the same. Then I say senior global leader, growth and scale up. So now I'm kind of saying, well, yeah, sure, I take companies international, take companies into new marketplace, but to what end? Well, to help them grow and scale up their businesses. I have a tech focus. So if you're looking for me to help you with, say, a manufacturing business, I would be the wrong guy. I have a tech focused and I specialize in cracking new markets. And I took that cracking word from India. I love how people in India say to crack something, to open up a new market. That is what I focus on. That's what I'm good at. So from this high level description, if you are looking for someone to help you go global, if you are actually taking a company global today, you're going to pay attention to that tagline that I have under my name. You see how that works? So let's make sure that it's the high level description. Don't worry about putting in your title and your company, because frankly, that's down below on LinkedIn. You don't have to repeat that. Okay. Now let's talk about the about section. The about section can be a very pivotal section for you. Some people read it, some people don't, but if they do read it, let's make sure they get value out of it and that they understand who you are as a person so they can make an informed decision about connecting with you. So what I do is I will typically do the about section talking about really the story arc of my career. Where did I start out? What did I do and what skills did I develop over the years? And how did I end up with the specialty that I have? And then very importantly, and this is something that most people don't do, but I want to give you this little tip because it flags you as a high performer. You want to be part of the 1%, right? So put something like this at the end of your about section. Happy to connect with fellow high performers. So saying that I want to connect with high performance and that their fellow high performer says, hey, I'm a high performer and I want to talk with people like you if you are a high performer as well. Within the software world, so I give it kind of a focus there, who are interested in maximizing growth opportunities in uncertain times. Right now, the markets are in turmoil. Everything is uncertain. So people want to talk with each other and figure out how to navigate these choppy waters. So I'm saying, hey, I'm very interested in having that growth conversation with you, especially tailored toward how to grow in a very crazy and chaotic market like today's market globally. So this is a little tip that I'll give you. And again, in the full playbook, you'll have the full about section description to help you craft yours. Now, work experience. Work experience is great because it gives you an opportunity to highlight what you've done and what, most importantly, what the outcomes are from your work at different places. So you want to write a short description, kind of if you're familiar with TLDR, too long didn't read, I think is what that stands for, but it's essentially a very short form Cliff Notes version of that section. And then you put bullets under it with what you actually did. What I like to do in the short description is highlight the outcome, the major outcome that I produced at that company, and then all of the responsibilities that I oversaw that got us there. which is make sure that you detail the win. And that's what I mean by that short section. So here's an example. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to pull this down a little bit, and then I'm going to pull myself over here. Oh, got to get between that logo. There we go. So you'll see the first line here says assembled a unique product portfolio from zero, representing over $1 billion of enterprise value in 4 years. So I took something from nothing to over $1 billion in value over 4 years. That's interesting. That's a great outcome. And then you see the bullets are all down here. This is what I actually did there in order to get that outcome. So this is a great way to structure your work history. Again, you don't want to just say, I worked at Facebook. Well, what did you do at Facebook? What is the value that you brought to Facebook, and what outcomes did you produce? That's what people are really interested in. So make sure that we cover that in this section. And then down here, you can see I have a link to which actually is the video program that I'm using to do this today. And then All Turtles, which is, the product studio that I was working at. That was the company, but it gives an easy link to that. If you've done podcasts or been on YouTube in a video, in a discussion, at an event, link those down here. Those add a lot of credibility to what you have to say and makes you worth connecting with, makes you very interesting as a person and as a business professional. So that is always good to add. Now, as I said at the beginning of this, we have a well-structured playbook that will help you re-architect and redo and spruce up your LinkedIn profile so that when you connect with people, you will get results. Now, let me tell you a quick story. Actually, the way I discovered the importance of the LinkedIn profile is I was working with a customer that I was advising, and I was sharing with them scripts of how they can reach out to people on LinkedIn to connect and have conversations. And they were having zero luck. Nobody was connecting with them. And I knew my scripts were pretty good and they had performed well for me, so I couldn't figure it out. So what I did is I tried connecting with the same people using the same scripts. The only difference was my LinkedIn profile. And I started getting great responses in the 40, 50% range of people that would connect with me and further have a conversation. So this really opened my mind to the fact of how important your LinkedIn bio or profile is. And that's why it's a critical part of our climb, where we help startups enter new marketplaces. Well, guess what? If you're going to enter a new marketplace, you're going to have a lot of new conversations with new people. You're going to have to connect with people that you don't know today. So it just underscores the importance of the LinkedIn profile in that connection process. So with that, we always give you a challenge to do things. We're all about doing things. I have my do things here. Let's see, I'll bring it back over so that you can see it. So do things. What we want you to do is, if you have interest in upgrading your LinkedIn profile and you want to get the playbook, simply comment down below that you want that, and we'll be happy to get it to you simply as a link. It's free, and I know that it can significantly help your LinkedIn profile. Now, as an added bonus, we actually custom trained a GPT. Now, you will need to have version 4 of ChatGPT in order to make this work. But if you have version 4, and if you don't have it, I suggest you go get it, pay for it. It's worth it. You'll be able to use our custom trained GPT, which was trained on our playbook, and it will walk you through section by section of your LinkedIn profile and create amazing copy for you to put into your LinkedIn profile as it just interviews you and asks you questions about what you've done over the years. That's really helpful. And so if you want it, simply tell us in the comments below and we'll get that to you straight away. I hope you've enjoyed this live session today. It's been fun for me to put together, and I love talking about this stuff. If you have any further questions, not just about LinkedIn, but about other business concepts, please come to our group. If you haven't joined the LinkedIn group, We'll put that link below as well so that you can do that. But come into the LinkedIn group and ask questions. We're happy to engage with you on that front. Okay. So have a good afternoon, evening, or night. Don't know exactly where you guys are. I know that we have a good mix on here. So wherever you are in the world, have a great rest of your day. See you.